Hey y'all, welcome to Back Porch Cooking and Reminiscing. We're the Morgans and we're happy to have y'all here with us today. Remember to hit that subscribe, like, and hit the bell button. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel today. And got a surprise for you. Guess who I've got on camera?
Hello, Audrey.
Well, y'all have heard me talk about her so much, I figure you know her name anyway. So today we're going to be doing Audrey's famous chicken and dumplings.
I don't know that they're famous, but they're chicken and dumplings.
I'm pretty sure they're famous.
Uh,
They're good anyway. So she's going to be showing you how to do the chicken and dumplings, and these are from scratch. These are not the go out and buy a can of biscuits and make them with canned biscuits or anything like this. This is going to be straight from homemade and scratch. So stay with us till the end, and we'll show you how to make them, and then we'll taste them and see how they taste. And so give us just a minute and we'll get back here and we'll get started. Thanks for being here.
all right, everybody. The first thing we're going to do is I have my chicken in the pot, just a regular size hen. I'm going to cover it completely with water.
Need a little more water or is that good?
Well, I'm going to also add 1 container of chicken broth. I'm using the Swanson. You can use whatever kind you want. I'm just making the liquid for my dumplings right now. And the chicken part makes excellent broth, but I like it to be really brothy. And yes, I'm going to need more water.
All right. So I get to do the helping job today.
Yeah,
Always good to have a helper.
definitely. You don't normally help, so it's definitely awesome.
Folks, she's lying to you. I always help.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to need a little bit
A
more.
little bit more.
I like it to be about an inch over the actual chicken breast because I'm going to boil this. I'm going to let it come to a really rapid boil, so I want it to be completely covered. And this is what's going to be once I take the chicken out. It's going to be what I drop my dumplings dough into.
All right.
That looks about perfect.
And we also need to turn the stove on.
Yeah, I was going to do that. I'm going to put it on 8.5, which is fairly high because I want it to get really hot and start boiling. I'm going to throw some celery in there just to season my broth up. 1 stick of butter. I'm a Southern cook, so I like butter.
It's a wonder her name wasn't Paula.
And then a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches. 2 pinches of pepper. I like it.
I always say she gets a little carried away with her pepper, but
She eats my food, so.
that's
a little
true.
onion powder. And then we're just going to let this chicken completely boil, get completely tender. And once it's done, I'll come back and I'll take the chicken out, debone it, and start making my dumpling dough. And I'll show you how I do that. It's going to be a drop dumpling. You can do it as a flat dumpling. I don't do that anymore just because it's super messy. And I honestly prefer the drop dumplings because they're more cloud-like and fluffy, and I really don't like the texture personally of the flat dumplings. So I'm going to do a drop dumpling, and when I come back, I will show you the simple recipe that I use to make my dumpling dough.
So now, if I remember correctly, back when my mother when she made dumplings, she would take her dumplings and roll them out and cut them, but she would leave them on the wax paper and let them dry for a while. Now, if you do that, that makes a much harder and firmer dumpling, right?
Yes.
So that's not what we're doing here
Her
today.
dumplings were very al dente, very hard, which I personally, she also used water in her dumplings. Instead of, I used buttermilk, she used water, but you can use whatever you want. But I'm very old fashioned. I use my granny's recipe, which is buttermilk, lard, and flour. But
And that makes a really fluffy dumpling.
a delicious dumpling.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna let this chicken cook and come to a boil and everything. Once it's done, we'll come back and we'll go into the next step on it. So for us, it's gonna be a little while. For you, it won't be that long. So we'll see y'all here in just a minute. All right, y'all. We're back here. Chicken getting really close to being done, and so Audrey's going to show y'all how she makes her dumplings. So turning it over to her and letting her tell you what to do next.
All right. First, I take 3 cups of self-rising flour. I prefer white lily; it's my favorite. 3 heaping tablespoons. I do it the old-fashioned way. Heaping 2 heaping tablespoons of shortening or lard. I have lard, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to cut that in and see. Hopefully that'll be enough. I don't know how else to get that off there with my shortening cutter. And I want this to be kind of crumbly. And then I'll know if I need to add a little more or not.
Story about when we used to make dumplings for the restaurant. Um, Believe it or not, we would cook
Yes, I'm going to add a little bit more.
about 25 pounds of chicken just to be able to make our dumplings. So that was a lot of chicken that we used when we made the chicken and dumplings for the restaurant. You usually used what, 3 or 4 hens and
Yeah, usually probably about 16 or so chicken thighs because you can get some really good broth off of the dark meat.
so remember that if you're doing a bunch, get you some chicken thighs to go along with your hen.
Yeah, it just flavors it up so good. Okay, I believe that is pretty good. Put my spoon up. And then you just start adding buttermilk. I can't tell you a certain amount because I don't know.
So you just kind of add it in slowly, not too much all at one time, but because as I tell y'all always, you can always add more to it, but you can't take it away.
Yeah, but this is kind of forgiving. And also, if you goof up, you can always add a little more flour.
That's true.
It's not like salt where you can't take it out.
We call Audrey Messy Audrey, and there's a reason why we do that. Because when she cooks, she's gonna throw stuff all over the place.
No doubt. There's no doubt. I've been called worse. I've been called Hurricane Audrey, Tornado Audrey. It's all good. Yeah, I got that a little too loose, so I'm going to add just a smidge of flour back in there. No big deal. Oh, yeah. That's the consistency I'm looking for right there. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to let this sit.
Okay, so our chicken was done. We've got it out and cooling, and Audrey's starting to put the dumplings into the pot. Go ahead and tell them what they need to know about this.
Okay, I've got the broth is still on a very high rolling boil. That's what you want. and you just take the dumplings. I've got 2 spoons here. I fill one with the dumplings, and you put it into the hot mixture. That water has to be boiling. Years ago, when I was first starting out learning to cook, I didn't know that the water needed or the broth needed to be boiling. So I had a lot of mishaps along the way.
One that I remember well is she was making the dumplings, and by the time she got them all in the pot, they basically had disintegrated, and there
Yeah,
wasn't any dumplings.
that's because after I put them in the not so boiling water or broth, I stirred them, and that was the biggest mistake ever. The one thing you don't want to do with drop dumplings is stir them until they've, sort of set up. That's like huge mistake number one. And it takes a minute to get them all dropped, but it's still so much better than rolling them out on a floured surface and cutting them. And it's just, the older I get, the easier I like things to be.
Another story I remember, I think I remember it. Y'all don't know, my memory's terrible sometimes, but I remember that we did dumplings at the restaurant one time, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it snowed or what happened, but wound up having to close early on that Sunday. And so we didn't sell all the dumplings that we had. And when we came back, we decided to make a dumpling soup. And do you remember what we put in that, Audrey?
I think I added some, what did I put in there? Carrots and celery and,
More chicken broth.
yeah,
Because
maybe.
we had to thin it down because the dumplings were really super thick. But
Yeah, people liked it.
anyway, everybody loved it. We sold every bit of it that we had, and I thought, well, that was pretty crazy that we sell dumpling soup, but everybody really seemed to enjoy it.
I'm going to let this continue to boil on this temperature for about maybe 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to turn it down and put a lid on it.
And right now we're sitting at 7
I'm
on
going to
our
wash my
stove.
hands.
So these are cooking up. They're nice and fluffy, and they're really looking good. I can't wait to taste them. They're smelling good, and so I'm looking real forward to having some of these. So we'll be back with y'all here when that they're a little closer to being ready. All right, so Audrey has cut the temperature down on these. She's got it down on 1.5. Still got a good bowl going on it. She put the lid on it, and she's in the process of deboning her chicken. And now, Audrey, how long do you say that this needs to stay on this low boil?
Um, I'm probably going to leave it on there for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to completely cut it off.
So 30 minutes, then she'll completely cut it off. And once they're ready, she'll put the chicken in them. So we'll be back with
I'm going to
you.
put the chicken in before they're done.
Chicken goes in before they're done.
As soon as I get it deboned, it's going in.
All right, so we'll come back and show you that when we get it ready. All right, y'all. So these have been set and cooking from the time she cut them down. It was actually only probably about 15 minutes. I think
Yeah,
on the 30 minutes, she was maybe thinking about when we used to make the big, huge pots at the restaurant.
I was.
So now we're ready to add the chicken.
Yeah.
She's deboned all the chicken and
So this is
everything.
the whole chicken, white and dark all together. Just dump it in, just give it a good stir. And now, the last and final step, you just put the lid back on it. It's completely turned off, and now it just needs to sit. And in about 45 minutes to an hour, they should be about to perfection.
So we'll come back in about 45 minutes and we'll get us a bowl of them and give them a taste and see how she did this time. All right, y'all. It's been about an hour These have been sitting longest hour of my life, but you can see they turned out perfectly. So I've got me a bowl of them over here that I've been letting cool for just a few minutes. But you can see all the chicken, all the dumplings and everything in there. And I'm telling you, it smells wonderful. Now I'm going to pull the camera back a little bit here. Turn it up. And let's see if we can get a good shot here of me. There we go. So now, here's my bowl of chicken and dumplings. Don't that look good? So let's get us a bite. See how they taste. A little bit of chicken on there with that dumpling. All right, so here we go. We got us some dumpling, we got us some chicken. Let's see what it tastes like. Mm. That dumpling is so fluffy, tender. Chicken's good and tender. Got just enough salt, just enough pepper in it. Let's have another bite. I'm telling you, you make this for the family for Thanksgiving or Christmas, either one. They're gonna love them. They're awesome. And Audrey did a great job on them. I think she did a great job on doing the video. She was really nervous to get on camera and do the video, but I think she did a great job. If y'all don't care, give her some love in the comments. Let her know she did a good job. And again, make these for Thanksgiving, make them for Christmas. Make them anytime. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday or not. These are good. They do take a while to make. They're not something you can make just in 30, 40 minutes. This is a process that probably took somewhere in the neighborhood of, oh, 2.5, 3 hours altogether. I was looking at the clock there to see what time it was. So like I say, it's not something that you're going to throw it together real quick. You're going to have to spend some time doing it, but it is well worth the time that you got to spend to get a bowl of this right here. All right, y'all. So thank you for staying with us and watching the video. And this will be our last one for this week. And we'll try to get us some more on for next week. And if you haven't watched that last one I did on the Thinker's Breakfast with the pork brains, the gravy, and the biscuits, go back and check that one out. That's a good one. All right, y'all. I'm going to get off here, go eat me some chicken and dumplings. Y'all have a good one.